Before we start this video, I just wanted to say a quick thank you for choosing to watch this video. It's not easy putting these videos together, so I do appreciate you being here and choosing to watch. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you like the video, share it with your friends, share it with your family, anyone who supports Tottenham. All right, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to Tottenham Away Ole Ole. Hope you're doing well, hope you're doing good. Smash the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. All the things you get asked to do every time you go onto a YouTube channel. Do the same here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you're doing well, hope you're doing the things that you enjoy. Big up to Danny, who's with me tonight. I don't know who else is going to join us later on, but for now it's Dan and I. Make sure you get over to the Hotspur Hood, smash a like, subscribe for Dan and his channel, and show the love everywhere. Alrighty, let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's say hello to a couple of people in the chat very quickly before we get going. Big up to Dino, Stixie. How you doing, mate? If you want to jump on, let me know. I'll send you the link. Big up to Scott Amos, Dr. Views TV, Phil Coys. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We've got Scott Hytham. How you doing? Brandon, you good? Hope you're doing well. Sammy, how you doing? How's the boys? Hope the little ones are doing well. Are they even little anymore? We started protesting 5 years ago. They're probably teenagers now and dating and all sorts. Big up to Kale. Carolina, how are you? I'm Immortal Worm. Big up. Scott M in the house. Scott, the link's in the WhatsApp chat. If you want to jump on, feel free. Ryan, how are you? Hope everyone's good. And I hope everyone is well. So we have 9 days to go. What the hell is going on? What are we doing, right? It's the same conversation every show, so we're going to make sure that we have exactly the same conversation as every other show. But Dan, what are we doing? What are we doing, mate? We kick off in 9 days. In a week's time, we kick off the Premier League, and it is Tell Richie Solanke.
It's another one of those situations where it just started off all so good, didn't it? And then at the moment, it just looks like it's frozen. It's at that point where I can almost say same Spurs, different day, because we seem to do this every season where we have this massive patch where we do absolutely nothing. And something should be being done. I mean, the rumours say that there's an 85 million bid just been put out for Sevilla. Okay. We must be desperate to pay that much. But we're now getting to that point where whatever we do have to pay someone, it's going to be more anyway, because it's coming to the end of a window. And people are also happy, other teams are happy to wait basically until we have to pay the extra money. But then we've got to get rid of some players as well, like we have. But then we're also in that popular with a homegrown, aren't we? So
Yeah, absolutely.
If we can't get the players out, the only other thing we can do is basically kick them out of the team to sit on the side. And one thing Tottenham ain't going to do is that. I still reckon there's a couple of players we can get rid of, but there's other players that even if we offer them for free, we'd be lucky if we can get rid of them.
Well, let's look at what we've done so far, right? So we've shifted Vuskovic, Spence, Dragusin, Phillips, Langshire, Liz, Thompson, Solomon, Divine. You can add Romero to that as well. So as it stands now, okay, this was yesterday's screenshot, 166 million. Romero's going for 40 million, so that's 206 million. So Spurs have sold 206 million pounds worth of players, which means our net spend, it says 71 there, but you've got to take the Romero 40 off. So we've got a net spend of 31 million. So Dan, we've spent 31 million pounds. And everyone's talking about transfer records broken, big money on players. Isn't the reality that this is exactly what Enoch did when Levy was here? We can only buy if we sell, and we're going to end up balancing the books. We're not actually splashing big cash and just going for it. What do you think of that? Or do you think, no, this is the right way to do it? This is good? Because this looks to me, Dan, like the Levy model. This is exactly how Levy ran the ship.
Yeah, I can't deny none of that. It's true. But we was going to have to get rid of players anyway. Players were going to go anyway. And you buy and sell. If you can make the money back on it, then brilliant. And that's what we're basically doing, making the money back on it. I've got no problem with that. But you've now got 9 days. And what is it? Is it 3 weeks left of the till the end of the window, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks? I think it's 3 weeks, isn't it, basically, till the end of the window?
It's the 13th, so 23, 2010. It's about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So, right. Go spend your fucking money. Go do it. If you have to go, if you want that player that much and you have to pay an extra 10, 15 mil for him, do it. I still think we should go and put 80, 90 million on the table for Morgan Gibbs-White and offer him Bergville. You know, an offer they can't refuse. Yeah, totally out of balance as such, but price of players these days. And we've got to go and do something like that. We've got to show we mean business. It's all good breaking the transfer record and that. Would Levy have got them 2 deals done? I don't think so, because he would have just tried too hard to save that 5 million. It would probably cost us that was one of his biggest problems. And I get the point on making your money back, but aren't we here to spend money to make ourselves better? Now, we've made ourselves better with who we've bought. You can't deny that. And we have got rid of some of the crap that we needed to get rid of. But if we had 300 million spending money, shouldn't that still mean we've got at least 230 to 250 there to spend by the time we've even got rid of another 2 players? So go and bloody do it. If that means you've got to go spend 110 million to get that striker you want, go and do it, because you've made your money back. But what you're saying there, it looks very familiar, doesn't it?
Well, listen, I've got nothing wrong. I'm not against balancing the books if what we're bringing in is better. But my problem, Dan, is we've sold players, in my opinion, that are better than what we've got in some areas that's weakened certain positions. For example, I would have kept Lancashire over the 3 we've got. I think he would have. I'm not saying he's the answer, but going with these current 3 and not giving Lancashire a crack, I don't know. Spence splits opinion, but when we've still got, Robertson, who can't defend at the club, but going forward he's good, but he can't defend. Ben Davies is still here. We've got no backup for Porro, so now I'm thinking, why get rid of Spence? He's better than at least 2 or 3 of the ones we got here. And the Romero one, I think most fans want it gone, but Romero is better than Danzo in this system. So unless we bring in a right back, unless we bring in another right back, I think we should have waited a year, then moved on Spence, so we got covering. And up front, I would have kept Lancashire until 100%. We had at least a new attacker, and then we said, right, we've got a new attacker in Lancashire, you can go. But we haven't done any of that.
No, with Lancashire, 20 million for him. See you later, mate. Baked potato, gone. As long as I know I'm going for another striker, I'm going to get a striker. But by the look of it, I've just got this funny feeling that we're going to end up with Richie and Solanke up front, and I've said it for a couple of weeks now, and I hope I'm wrong. So yeah, in that aspect, if that's what we were going to do, then maybe you should have hung on to him, because both of them, we know they're crap, but both of them, we know they seem to have a consistent injury, especially since they've been at Spurs. I mean, Solanke, not an injury-prone person until he hit Spurs, seems the same as most people, doesn't it? And so maybe on that aspect, it would have been smarter to keep him. But if we're genuinely going to go out and get another striker, then 20 mil for him, you can't complain with that. Spence, I'm very 50-50 about, yeah? I think he's a very good defender. Well, very good. I think he's a good defender. He's definitely a left back or a right back. But going forward, he's absolutely useless. He can get forward with a ball, but he just can't do nothing with it. He can't cross, he can't pass, he can't shoot. So if you're going to play it with a defensive one, then he's a man to have there. I think he's good enough for the team as such, or even good enough for the first 11. But if you want him going forward and doing something, then that's where you need Porro, basically. But with Porro there, you've got to make sure that the back 2 or one of the centre mids cover him, because he can't defend for shit. So what are we actually trying to do here? I think Spence would have been a good idea to keep to at least January, because he's homegrown and he's good cover for left and right. And in a worst case scenario, I think you can also use Spence to cover as a centre back if you really needed to. You could definitely play him on the side of a back three, but even with two at the back, I think Spence could cover that for a game or two because his defending is good enough. And if anything, I'd probably give him the chance there over Ben Davies. So what are we going to do now? Is Archie Gray now our right back cover up? The other thing is with Spence, you know, the other thing with Spence.
This is what I mean. It's ridiculous.
I know, I get it. But the other thing is with Spence, he got dropped by about 4 different managers, sent home by another manager on loan. Other managers didn't play him when they had him on loan. There's definitely something not right with the player.
But the counter to that is every manager kept Ben Davies and every manager at some point played Ben Davies, and look how that worked out for us. It's a disaster.
I agree.
So it works. It works both ways, isn't it? There's just some, I just think there's something wrong within the club. Full stop. When it comes to what players we get rid of, what players we keep. I think let's go through the list actually.
Right, 1 second, I'll be with you. 2 seconds, just got to grab something. Sorry.
All right, I'll wait for you to come back and then we'll do it. I'll just take a couple of the comments and have a chat with people in the comments. Munoz from Palace would be really good to get now. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. The World Cup, I believe, was the making of Spence. I don't think Spence is a bad player. I just think he's like many other players. He's been just poorly coached and just a catalogue of managers chopping and changing has disrupted the environment at Tottenham Hotspur. We need 4 players to come in ideally. I'll be stunned if that happens. I think that's a big ask. Dan, I wanted to just let's go through this and see if we agree on what's happened. So Vuskovic going for 50 million. Are you all for that?
Yeah, definitely. He's never even played in the Premier League. Could he end up a quality player? Sure, he could, but it's one of those ones where you've got to make that decision on the moment. Is it worth it? Yes, it is.
I think that's a great bit of business.
Yeah, I do. Since he's never even played Premier League football and his age, yeah, he could come up an excellent player. But if you've watched him play in Germany, I've watched him play a couple of times, but more on just like, what do you want to put it? Just like when they show the, I can't think of the bloody word now. When they just show you after the game, basically, the main points of it. The one thing he's not quick. He's very slow. And one thing with De Zerbi, from what I've seen and what other people say in that, is he likes a defender with a bit of pace. So would he have been right for this or whatever? But for 50 million for that, I don't see where anyone can honestly complain.
All right, then you've got Spence, who is on his way to Inter Milan. He's going for 31 million euros, which is actually approximately 30. Well, it's about 26, 27 million. Yeah. I think we're selling him cheap.
Yeah. If we don't sell him in, if we don't sell anyone in the Premier League, he's going to go for cheap. No one else has got that sort of money in the leagues. I mean, this league earns what? Something like the closest one to it earns 3 times less than what the Premier League does, or even 4 times less. There's only a couple of teams you can sell out there to big money for. What? PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona don't really even put their foot down that much anymore, but they could do it as well. Apart from that, who's really got the money to throw about? There's only other one team in Italy that's got money to throw about, and that's Como, but they can't spend nothing at the moment. Mark my words, give them the next 3 seasons, they'll win that league. But as soon as they're in the Champions League for about 3 years on the trot, they'll start having a bit of money to throw about and they'll take serious control of that league. But at the moment, nobody in that league has got money to spend. So if we sell out of the Premier League, unless it's to the main teams that I've said, you are not going to get serious money.
Would you have sold Jed Spence?
If I knew for a fact I was putting someone else there, it's his mentality that I think has been more the problem for people, for managers and that. I think that's been more the issue with him, because he's got the capability for a team player, no 2 ways about it. Here and now, probably not, and wait until January unless there's already a player literally standing there ready to take his place.
Yeah, I wouldn't have sold him.
But for the money that we sold him for as well, considering he's just had a good World Cup, and you know my attitude on it, 2 games changes nothing for me. but he's a bit hyped up. I'd have thought we'd have got a bit more than that for him. If we'd have sold him in the Premier League, you could have probably looked at 40 million for him. But again, it's where it's outside the league, isn't it?
I definitely would have kept Jed Spence. Dragusin, 21 million. We bought him, I think, for 30 million from Fiorentina. So we sold him for £9 million less back to them. He hardly played for us. When he did, he was all right. I'm not against him going because we've signed Van Heck and we've signed Senesi. So I'm all right with him going. Do you think we sold him for cheap, though? Would you have kept him?
Yeah. No. Dragusin, he had to go. I mean, again, for me, it's another player we played totally the wrong way. But he'll do fine in the Italian league. And if we would have played him in the middle of a back three, I think he might have seen a different player there. He's an old school centre back, no nonsense, no piss ball about, gets his job done. Very clumsy sort of player. How shall I put it? Van der Ven can literally spin round in a circle and run. Whereas Dragusin, he's one of those ones that needs to do a complete horseshoe to even be able to turn around. I think he's better off going back to Italy.
Yeah, I agree.
Considering the injury he just had as well and the time out, I still think we got respectful money for him, if I'm going to be honest.
Then there's two players we sold to Middlesbrough. Ashley Phillips for 20 million, Will Lancashire for 20 million. What's your thoughts on those two?
20 million, excellent deal for Phillips. I mean, what has he actually done to prove he can even play in the Premier League?
I think we bought him for like 5 million or something. He never played for us.
Like that 4 or 5 million. So again, great bit of business because he's definitely not even good enough for a squad player, I don't think. And then when he's been on loan as well, he hasn't exactly stood out, has he? But that's a good one. Lancashire, as long as we got a striker coming in, I don't think that's a bad deal either. But it would have been maybe keep him if we are sticking with Solanke and Richarlison. But for 20 mil for the price of him and that, you can't say that's a bad price for him.
So we signed Phillips for £7 million. We made a £13 million profit on a player that never played for us. That's pretty good.
Who's complaining in that aspect?
I would have sold Phillips because it was pointless.
Yeah.
He's never going to play for us. Lancashire, I think we've made a mistake. I think unless we sign two outstanding attackers, I think we've made a mistake. But the thing with Lancashire, it's only mistake if the window shuts now. If the window shuts like this in 2.5 weeks' time, then it's a mistake to get rid of him. But if we sign two good attackers, then it probably makes sense getting 20 million for him.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a better offer than that for him.
Veliz, 8 million. I mean,
who's complaining? Did you even know he was at Spurs anymore?
No, I mean, I forgot you.
Seriously, I think we lost $1 million on him, didn't we? Like we bought him for 9 million or something, wasn't it?
I don't know why we even signed him. Then we sold Tynan Thompson to Man United, 8 million. He's young. He's an academy player.
I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, I'm not against that. 8 million for a player that cost us nothing. Manor Solomon's gone to West Ham. We finally sold him. 7 million. I mean, could we have got a bit more for Solomon? 7 million? Bit cheap. I think it's quite low.
Know. Yeah, but no sort of thing. He was not a good player. I think he's just one of those ones that even if you got offered 5 million, you take it to get rid of him. Because some of them, like I've said, if we want to get rid of some of these players, we're going to have to take a good kick up the bollocks for it, basically. Because you've got to get rid of them and people know it. Do I think you'd have got more for him? No.
Apparently, the Phillips deal's collapsed, Dan, because he failed a medical. And Sammy's now saying Phillips deal is being renegotiated due to. So we're not getting 20 million for him. He's injured.
No, that's probably going to go down to about 8 million then.
That is so Spursy. Only we sell an injured player. When have you ever heard a player being sold and failing the medical?
Very, very rarely. Now and again you hear of it, but very rarely.
Alfie Devine, 6 million quid. He's gone to Preston. Big up, Scott. Are you Alfie Devine, 6 million?
No love lost to me. Another one. He's gone. It's not a problem there anymore. He's not going to start there. So what's the point? Yeah. So even if you get 5 million for him, it's still a bit of extra money in your back pocket. So that's another one that I think.
I'm pretty sure we signed Alfie Devine for $500,000. We got him on the cheap because Wigan were in financial difficulty and we took advantage, and that's one of the reasons we signed him. So I think we've made quite a fair bit of profit on that one. The last one, obviously, Romero, he's finally gone. It looks like we're going to get 40 million plus a bit more. So, I mean, look, most fans want him gone. I would have kept him, but I'm in the minority, so it doesn't matter. He's gone. Do you think 40 million was good money?
Yeah, I do really. Because again, it's another one we wanted to get rid of him, basically. I mean, he should have been gone already. But with the attitude he's shown, his complete lack of interest, his mentality, even the waste of space he was when he got the captain, the fact that he only ever shows up when he wants to show up. I mean, has he actually even done anything to justify 40 million? So I think we got a good price for that one, basically.
Yeah, I think 40 million.
Yeah, go for it, Scott.
It makes sense. The problem with Romero that you have is there's so many other factors than just straight football moves, right? Some people like his attitude, some people don't like his attitude. So it's only going to fit in so many places. I think he thinks that he's a top level player, so there's only so many clubs that he's willing to go to. And when you have the fact that there's a limited number of clubs that he can go to, and the fact that he has his attitude, you're not going to be able to maximize the prices that you could get for him. So I think 40 million's fine. We could probably do 5 hours of us talking about Romero, especially with you two guys on here. But I just think whatever it was, he wanted to go. The club was ready to move on. I think it made sense. I think Atletico is a perfect fit for him to go to.
Yeah.
40 million and move on. I think at some point, he's not at the level of we have to get rid of because he's such a bad player. Like in terms of Sarr, I think you just have to get rid of him. Vicario has to go. I think because of everything that happened with Romero, you had to move on. So 40 million is good. And moving on from him, from the club, is also a benefit, right? That he can't. I know, look, if it was a purely football reason, still, I'm 100% on board. He would be great. Purely football. Take everything out. But we can't do that, right? He can't stay at the club. We can't have him staying at the club, not being a captain, being sent to the bench for the non-football reasons. So it's time for him to go. We're good.
He only ever shows up when he wants to, once in a bloody blue moon. You'll get a 10 out of him and a 9 out of him, then a 2, then a 1, then a 4, then an 8, then a 3, then a 10. I'm sorry, I can't part with a player like that, especially a player that's meant to be a world-class player. On his day, he's as good as anybody. I don't deny that. But for me, he was one that had to go, and his mentality was the worst part of him, in my opinion.
Before I bring Alex in,
you'll see it at Atletico, though.
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, I think we will, and I don't know if Dan and I agree on this. We've talked about it before, but I think at Atletico with Simeone and that club, I think we'll see more of the Romero that you see for Argentina that we saw at Atalanta and we saw when Conte first came in.
I can agree with that. I think Simeone is one of them few managers that might actually be able to beat some respect out of him as such. And plus, they're both Argentinian and everything else and all that. So there's going to be that little love tingle between them and everything else and that. It makes sense what you're saying.
Very quickly, I just want to do some of these jewels. 2 jewels from Futures Bright. In fact, Futures Bright, you've sent all of them. So thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 6. Thank you for the 20. And thank you for the 2. Appreciate all your super jewels. Big up. Alex, are you not in the WhatsApp group to get my link to the show?
No, but it doesn't matter anyway. I'll just send you the link. Ask if you want to come on, because I'm focused on my own channel. I just need to just clear something up. Because I know people been. It was on Dan and List's show. Lee came on, bless his heart, and I know Rain's been talking about it usually on shows, and I'm getting to the point now where it's getting a bit annoying now because this is nothing new. I'm talking about the squad, the squad rules for the English Premier League. That we've got too many foreign players. Just to remind people, this has been happening since Pochettino, right? I was the one telling people there was a problem with the squad. This is how bad it was. I was telling your best friend, Sean Butler, right, at the time, and he said, "Oh, I didn't know that back then," right? And Alistair Gold was talking about it then. He's been talking about it for a long time. And it was really bad under Pochettino because we had Ben Davis, we had Eric Dyer, who was a foreign player because he was trained in Portugal. And Ben Davis was foreign because he's Welsh and he's trained in a Welsh team, I think it was, academy. Right, so they couldn't be added to the Europe. They were looked as foreign players in the European squad, basically. Right, so we've had this problem for ages, absolutely ages. Right, what's going to happen is, because I'm not worried about it, right, is that if we can't sell the players are just going to be left out the squad, and they're just going to have to suck it up because they never learn. They never ever learn. And I've just got to the point now where I'm just hearing people thinking they've found gold, telling people, well, you don't know, you should do. No, we've had this problem for ages, absolutely ages. And it will continue next season. And I don't think it's a big problem this season because I think we've got an easy job of getting rid of players this season, right? Because I don't think the rules are actually that difficult to sort out. You just got foreign player problem, right? So you just need to sell them or get them on loan and to say, you can't be in the squad. We ain't got enough space for you. Simple as that. Or the injured players, well, you're not going to be fit for a majority of the time in the first part of the season, so we can't put you in the squad. We can't put Javid Simmons in the squad. We can't put Alderbear in the squad. Sorry, we'll wait till January till we can put you in when you're fit and we can rely on you. That's it, simple. Right? If we're in Europe, which was the problem under Pochettino, and even last season we had a massive problem because we had to leave players out, the rules are even worse. So I don't know why people are panicking, right? There shouldn't be any panic, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, if we haven't got enough space, they've got to make a decision on players. They've got to make a decision on players. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I just wanted to clear that up because I'm hearing so much panic and conjecture because people are saying we can't put too many players, we can't buy loads of players. We just need to make a decision on players saying, are you going to be ready for this squad for this first part of the season? If you're not part of our plans, just either get rid or put them on loan, or that's it. Simple as that. I had to clear that up. Back to you, Stel.
I think that's what they will do, though, Alex, innit? I mean, if you blatantly know that someone's going to be out until February at least, you ain't going to put them in the first team. That's just common sense. Now, if the manager went and done that, or the club went and done that, I think someone needs a shotgun to the side of their head. Seriously, I don't think anyone's going to do that. That one's just common sense. But getting rid of them, I agree with what you're saying. The other one, that's just it. That's how it's going to be. I mean, Simmons is not going to get picked as a team player, basically. He's not going to get picked in there because he ain't going to be playing till bloody February anyway.
Exactly.
So he's not going to get put in it anyway.
But it's just all this panic and all this thing conjecture because everyone's going on about him. By the way, Tony Rodriguez, get back in your box. I'm just talking, mate. So get back in your box in the chat. Sorry, just sometimes some people just need to just pipe down a little bit. I'm just saying, basically, that, it shouldn't be any panic. If they're supposedly doing so well this transfer window, right, they should have been able to sort this out. And really shows they haven't really been organised in this transfer window then. That's what it says to me. You know what I mean? Because this should be quite simple. It's like, how many spots you got in the foreign player spots, right? So you've got to make a choice of who you want in that squad right now. Right, and say, okay, if you can't fit them in, so we're going to have to let you go, or do something with them. You have to make a choice because this is simple, right? We don't need to worry about the Premier League. If it was Europe, we would have had even more of a problem, and we've had it worse. So I don't know why this panic all of a sudden, because now people think that I've been on YouTube for a long time and I've spoken about it for a long time. It's just now I'm getting bored of it now, because Alistair Gold's been going on about it for a long time as well. So that's all I've got to say. Big up to everybody. Anyway, back to you, Stel.
Anyone want to add anything to that?
I can add something to it because I can't stay too long, but I just wanted to, number one, and I echo everything you guys said about Romero. I just want to thank him for his services. But a divorce needed to happen. A divorce needed to happen. Um, he is going to do much better with Atletico, and I just think, just for the fan base, we need to start anew. And so, you know, I'm happy that we are getting rid of players. My only thing I'm not happy with, and it's kind of stemming from what Alex is saying, is that what is the plan? I've been chatting about, the win backs and whatsoever. But then, funny enough, I'm thinking about Madison is dinged up again. We have heard nothing about Kulu. We already know Xavi's gone. Simmons is gone for most of the year. Who's our attacking midfielder? If Madison is out longer, like who's our number 10? Like, and
Nolly or Gallagher.
it, yeah, really, Gallagher. It, it's
Done a respectable job as a 10 at Palace and scored goals. It's just what you're thinking of as a 10. You're thinking of a playmaker.
Yeah, think of a playmaker, which
there is more than a playmaker to a number 10.
Yeah, Dan, and
So
we lack playmakers. I'm not even talking about the forward line. I, it, I just I know I said on your stream disappointing, and I like Fernandez, I like Tonali, and we got some outgoings, but I just feel that by the time the window closes, I'm just gonna be like meh, and I can't see us doing better than. I'm gonna be nice. Eighth. I see the Sunnies and the other ones in the world. They're saying fifth, sixth. I don't know how we're going to finish fifth, sixth.
Not with
I
this squad.
I
Not with this
can't
current
see it.
squad. No
Maybe I'm
chance.
blind. Maybe I'm Stevie Wonder, and I'm just like I don't know how. Maybe I need that positive juice or something, but I can't see how we're going to finish top six, even with one forward coming in. It's just I,
Now,
I
Murray,
don't see it.
bro, listen. These YouTubers you speak of, they they literally humiliate us. They make us look like idiots. Honestly, Talk Sport should shut down that Spurs platform they've got on there because the
Oh,
absolute nonsense started last season.
oh
All of
my
them,
goodness.
all of them. Frank this, Frank that. Mawani's going to do this. All of them. And then when we get to January, Frank out. Why did we sign Mawani? It's you guys that peddle this nonsense out to your mass audience. Then all the other fans jump on us. Oh, but you said this. No, we didn't. You do not represent us. None of us said this. Honestly, Talk Sport, they've smashed it. They've clickbaited, rage baited. They know how to hook all the fans in that are gullible and just want anything positive just for the sake of it in. And then when it all goes wrong, and us channels are actually proven right when we try to challenge, show that we are, what's the word? Contrarians in what we do. Then everyone wants to come listen to us when it's too late. So anyone that thinks we're finishing fifth with these current attackers, mate, it's pure clickbait. It is absolute positive, fake energy. There's no way. Does anyone here think we're finishing fifth with Tel, Solanke, and Richarlison, guys? Do any of you think that, or are we all on the same page? Do we all?
Right now, with this, we'll be lucky to finish 10th. Lucky.
I think it's a very good opportunity this season, and I think we should be challenging for at least top 7 place, well maybe top 8 place.
Alex, with these current attackers.
No, yeah, but I'm not including the attackers. I'm looking at the midfield at the moment and the defence because I think we can control the game. It's just really who's going to be scoring the goals. That's my concern at the moment. So,
this is the question I'm asking. Do you hold on, Alex? The question I'm asking is: does anyone here on this show think we can get fifth or sixth?
No, I said we can't finish fifth. No, I said I answered the question.
Right.
I said we're not going to finish fifth. I just said that I do expect us to challenge with the squad that we've got with the midfield and defence we've got, but on the back of other teams having a lot of things going on. Liverpool, for instance, have got a lot of things going on at the moment. What is it? Man United, I'm still unsure about. What is it now?
Liverpool and
Newcastle,
Man United
Aston Villa.
both have goal scorers. Man United have got Cunha, Sesko, and Buemo. Liverpool have got Isak, Ekitike.
Ekitike is injured. Ekitike is injured.
They've
He's
got
injured.
Isak, who is top.
Is that's not really pulled up any trees yet, as well.
Under Iriola, Isak will be fine.
And that squad is thin, bruv. That squad is thin.
Would
In
you
the
rather
back.
take
Very
Liverpool's?
thin.
Would you
In the
rather take
back,
Liverpool's?
they're defenders.
Would you guys rather take Liverpool's attackers or our current attackers?
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's
Liverpool.
not
I'll
what I'm
take
talking
every
about.
part of Liverpool's team over ours.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I know we're a Spurs channel, yeah. But I can be a little bit balanced because I know what Liverpool fans are saying, yeah.
Defensively we're better. I
But-
think we've got better defenders than
No,
Liverpool.
Liverpool's weakness is defense. Their defense is
defensive midfield. I do question their
Their
midfield as
midfield's
well.
not bad. Liverpool's midfield is not bad. They just had
It's
a terrible
okay.
season.
It's okay.
Listen,
The
I'm not
defense.
saying we're going to be above them. I'm not saying they're going to be above them. No, I'm not saying that. Right, but I think there's a question mark on them because that squad does look thin, especially in defence. Right, I'm going to be looking at Aston Villa as well because they've had a little bit as well. And I'm not bantering them because they've done really well. Right, Newcastle, Bournemouth in Europe this season. Who else is there? Brighton in Europe this season. Right, Fulham changed their manager. So I'm not saying that we should be top five, no, but I think we should be competing at least. I'm not, but I am putting into account the attackers we've got. I don't rate the attackers, so it will be a problem. The attackers, yeah, we do need better attackers because that ain't going to do it for us. But I do think we should be challenging, especially with one game a week. Come on now, you know what I mean? But fifth and fourth, that's not my conversation. That's not my conversation here. So to answer your question, no. Fifth, no.
That's the longest answer ever.
Okay.
I'm just winding you up, bro. I'm just winding you up. Too easy.
Yeah.
So look, everyone said we're waiting to sell players before we can get these attackers. Spencer's gone now. Romero's gone. Do you guys now fully expect a couple of attackers to come in ASAP? And if so, is it going to be Savinho and Gakpo? Because this Savinho thing, it goes on and on. And apparently now Sky Sports today reported we haven't even bid for Savinho, which contradicts all their other reports. But I don't know.
Savinho's coming in.
5 million in.
I put in the WhatsApp chat that according to these reports that these clubs want to have a replacement for their players, especially Liverpool, which I said has remaining minus a TK some forwards, but even then they're like, hey, we want to go after Barcola, which is 130, which is ridiculous. He's talented, but no, it's all on potential hope. 130, that's crazy. Even with inflation prices, that's crazy. They want to bring him in then to sell Gakpo. And it's just like we're at the hands of mercy of these teams. Liverpool City wants a replacement for Savinho, who's their backup. We have to wait for them to find a replacement. That's probably the reason why we haven't put a bid in, because they're like, wait, we want to find our replacement. And so we're at the hands of mercy. That's why for me, it's scary. Is it 100% guaranteed we might sign a forward before the close the deadline close? Is it guaranteed? I don't
Savinho's
know.
coming in.
I
Savinho's
mean,
coming in.
everybody says Savinho's coming in. Savinho's coming. Is it guaranteed?
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
this club, Alex. I've known this club to fail me time and time and time and time again, and I don't want to be played. I refuse to get played.
You won't get played. You won't get played.
Oh, okay.
You know how
I hope you're
why
right.
I'm saying why I'm saying that, Mari. You know why I'm saying that. There was a post about Zerbi. Spoiling my video again, Mr. Box Office TV. But
you just plugged your channel. What are you talking about? You just plugged
yeah, I
your
know.
channel.
I'm spoiling the video that I'm gonna. I wanted to record.
300 people
So
watching
I've done it
live, and you
again.
just plugged your channel. Who cares? You got a
I
free
know,
plug.
I know. But what I'm saying is that it will be done, and you'll be in the squad for Brentford, because the Zerbies literally insisted. Right? It says that there was a report post saying it. So obviously, because he's had this golden handshake ever since he's kept us up and all that stuff, right? He's obviously had a word. He's obviously had a word because he's not happy with what's going on at the moment. He's not been happy for quite a while because he's been saying, how many times has he said, not finished, the transfer business, not finished, not finished, not finished, right? And I think because we've only got like, how many, I think it's 2 weeks or a week and a half
But Alex,
until the,
didn't Conte say the same thing? Didn't Poch? Didn't Mourinho said it wasn't finished? It was finished. Can you understand how I'm feeling? I've heard this
I get you
before.
now, yeah, I get
I've
you.
seen this movie before. That's the thing. Yes, I'm suffering from post-traumatic Spurs disorder because I've seen this over and over again. And for me, I don't want to be played. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not going to get my hopes up because I've seen this movie over and over again. It's like Groundhog's Day. I get out the popcorn and I'm just, we make the big signings in June, and then we go through a lull period, and then the last 2 days we're interested in this person. This, oh, we didn't get it done because the other club needs to get their replacement. Oh, we didn't get it done because of image rights. Oh, we didn't get it done. Since I've been supporting this team in the Levy era, which I count as Enoch, I've been disappointed, and I just don't want to get played. I'm just all tired
I
out.
don't think you can get played, Amari.
Why haven't we bought Savinho? Is it because Spurs ain't pulled their finger out their arse, Murray, or is it because Man City won't sell? Or Man City fucking about?
Man, Dan, if I knew, I'd be a rich man.
I think it's a bit of both, Dan.
I think City knows they can rinse us.
I think everybody knows it is Man City who are just playing it for as long as they can to get as much as they can. If anyone
right.
don't believe that, fair enough. It is Man City playing that game. But that is where we should be at the point of that part ain't working. Right, put him aside and we've got to get someone else. But the Savinho one, I think, will happen. But it's Man City that are pissballing about. And if we do go for the players, but no one wants to sell them, it puts us in a predicament.
I've got a different take on this. I don't think Maresca wants to get rid of Savinho. I think Maresca wants him as part of his plans, but the board have said if Tottenham are stupid enough to spend silly money, we're not saying no, because that is ridiculous money to come in for us to go and reinvest. So I think there's a price City are waiting for where it is going to be silly and it's not going to be worth it, most probably. I hope it is, because if he comes to us, we want him to be good. But I think Maresca's told them, do not sell him. I want him. But the club have said, we hear you, but everyone has a price. And if that price comes in, let's say 90 million, Man City can say, mate, we bought him for 10 million, 15 million, he's gone. And Maresca is going to have that money to be able to reinvest. So I think it's all about, I agree with you, Dan. City are just playing this to see how much they can rinse us. But if Spurs don't go above that 70, 75 million, I don't think City will sell him, Dan. I think he's going to end up staying at City because they want silly money. Yep. And I don't know if we're going to do the silly money thing. I don't know if we will.
But then what happens with De Zerbi then? Because De Zerbi seriously looks like he wants him. So if he doesn't get his player, because I know that we looked at him last year, but the way that the news is going at the moment, the rumours are going at the moment, it seems that he's the player that they want, and he wants him.
Yeah, but the club wanted Robertson as well, and De Zerbi comes in and we get Robertson. I think this is more club signing that De Zerbi's just accepted. I think he's agreed to it.
It's mighty convenient for us that the one player De Zerbi wants is the same player we've been trying to get a year before.
For free windows.
I mean, it's possible, right? I mean, the club and De Zerbi could both like the same player. That's possible. I'm just saying it's pretty convenient. My question is, and I agree with everything that Mari's saying there, and Stell especially, when do we get to the point where signing Savinho for 70, 80, 90 million is us actually getting played, not signing him? Do you know what? Like Mari said, he's worried we said we're going to sign this guy and then we don't. But at what point do we say that actually signing him is us getting played, right? Like if we're talking about 85 million, he's a talented player. 85 million for Savio. Are we not getting played when we sign him for that versus some of the other guys we could go out and get for much less money that'll probably do just as good as a job?
I think there's two. I think there's two in.
Everybody knows that we are desperate to sell. Everybody knows that we are desperate to buy. Any other team that was willing to take a 60 million price and would accept that offer Spurs is an idiot, because they know we're desperate. They know we've got money. At the end of the day, 60 million? No, hang on a minute. I know you've got money in your back pocket, fella. I now want 85 million. That's business. You got to deal with it. It is what it is. And if we want these players, we are going to have to pay the extra money for them. That is what every other club basically has to do. So if we're this big club, then we got to act like the big club, and we got to pay the money. Simple as that.
We're too into it now, Scott. We're too way down the line with it now.
But that's so terrible. If that's our thinking,
if we don't get the player, if we don't actually get the player now, it really doesn't. It doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good, really. That's what I'm saying at the moment. So
but if we don't get Savio and get somebody better, that looks good, right?
I agree. I agree with you. I'm not really. I called him my worst signing of the summer in my top 5, my best worst of bang average. So, you know what I mean, out of the players I had in that top 5. But I think at the moment, because they're so into it now, I think I've got the wrong term there, because they're so in the deal right now. I think they can't go back now. They can't go back. They have to actually get this deal done. Because if they come out with this deal getting done, they've wasted mostly the whole summer on this player. You know what I mean? And the same with Gakpo as well, to be honest with you. I think Gakpo, I think we have to move on from him.
Which, Alex, if that happens, that is a terrible practice in regards to our scouting
100%.
and how we do things. I mean, it's the same old rinse repeat. It's just, I'm almost numb to it. Being honest, I'm almost numb to it. I'm just like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm not going to get my hopes up. I do not want to get played. So, when August 31st comes and the window closes, it is what it is. They appease the fans. I would say they appease the fans. We just finished 17th. All right, get Tonali, get Fernandez in, and then we go through that lull period, which nothing happens, and then we show some interest late in the window, and
if we go and get Savinho by next week and we've paid 90 million, will you be happy? The fact that
I think it's not enough. It's not in. We will. Yeah, it won't have done enough.
Hang on, Scott. That's not what I'm asking. Will you be happy if we sign Savinho for 90 million by the end of the week?
No.
It's not enough. For me,
that's too much.
I didn't
say
for the season. I said, will you be happy? Simple yes or no answer. Will you be happy if by the end of next week we have signed Savinho for 90 million?
Just Savinho. No. Just Savinho.
Yeah. No. By the end of this week. I'm not saying for the rest of the season.
Not happy. Not happy because I wanted.
But we'll have gone and got the left-sided forward you want, and then there's more time to buy someone. I said by the end of this week, forget what we can buy after. We can still buy after the end of next week. If we have signed Savinho for 90 million by the end of next week, will you be happy? Not for the whole window, for the fact that we've got ourselves a forward on the left, we've got ourselves a left winger. Then we still need to get a striker. I'm specifically asking, will you be happy?
If you worded that, if you worded that way, I'm more willing to take a risk on Savinho. Then yeah.
So you'll be happy that we've signed him, and then we need to sign someone else.
Yeah, we need to sign somebody else. The way you worded it, right? By end of next week, right? And there might be someone coming after that. Then
I'm only asking about if we sign Savinho, not if we sign anybody else. If we've signed Savinho by the end of next week, will you be happy that we've signed? Will you be happy that we've signed him?
No.
Well, Dan, let me tell you what was my original thinking of coming in, and even if we had 2 out of the 3, that would have made me happy. What United did last summer, they brought in three forwards that started right away. Bremo, Cunha, and Sesko, and you saw what happened to them, right? I mean, it did wonders. I was just hoping for just 2 out of the 3. Because for me, I'm like, going into this transfer window, we need 3 forward signings. But if we get 2 out of the 3, I won't complain. I believe we'll either get 0 of the 3 or 1 out of the 3, and Sabino will be the 1
We
out of
get
the 3.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to get 1. But the question I was asking was just, would you be happy that we've signed Sabino for 90 million? We
For
obviously
the
need you after
for the
that.
whole window, no, I will not be happy. But by the end of the week, yes, if I know that someone else is coming in.
Yes, if you know that someone else is coming in, whatever. That's what I said. By
I,
the end of the week, if we've
I
signed
won't be
Sabino,
happy. I won't be happy for 2 reasons. Number one, I want a goal scorer before the first Premier League game of the season. I do not want to go away to Brentford depending on Tel Solanke and Richie. I do not want that. And secondly, if we're going to spend this big money, I'd rather just get Gakpo, who at least gets between 8 to 10 goals a year. And he's done that for 3 seasons in a row in the Premier League. And he did it last season as well when Liverpool was shit. So at least with Gakpo, we know we're going to get almost double-digit goals. With Savinho, we don't know what we're going to get. So if we got Gakpo, I'd accept that because I know at least he's got some goals in him. But if we get Savinho, and that's all we do before the first game of the season, meh.
do you even want Sabino? Is basically what I'm asking. People
No.
are saying
Here's my last word because I gotta go.
It depends who else we buy, I think.
Now I gotta jump off. My last word.
Yeah.
If we're spending 90 mil, then why don't we throw that money on Osimhen? Because I saw
it's not happening. They've already just turned down 130 million bid from Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow.
Marmouche. Could we get Marmouche if we offered 90 to City?
Big up, guys.
Yeah.
See you later, Murray.
See you later, Mar.
Can I ask you guys? There's one other player apparently we've been linked with, and this scares me. But Nicholas Jackson, the guy whose only good game was scoring a hat trick against Spurs when we went down to 9 men at White Hart Lane, when he hadn't scored hardly any all season. If we sign him, is it literally meltdown, alarm bells, red flags, deserve out? What?
Look,
where are you at with Nicholas Jackson? I don't know if it's real or not, but if
when it comes to something like that, still, this is where I've got the attitude of I'd rather Spurs just didn't spend the bloody money. If we could, this is why I've got the attitude. If we just can't get that striker, I would rather that we didn't get a striker than go and waste 90 million again, like everyone complains about, on a Solanke, on a Richarlison. Do I want to go and spend money on Jackson? No, I fucking don't. I would rather we went and got another player for the right-hand side, for the left-hand side, or went and put that money that we was going to get a striker with, went and put half of that towards a goalkeeper to still improve the team. If we cannot get that striker, what do you want us to do? Do we go and take that chance with an £80 million player, or do we not spend it? Because people do also complain about that we just buy crap. So what do people actually want? If they genuinely can't get that striker that they want, or any of the main ones out there, and there's jack shit out there of strikers, we know that have a very high chance of working. A lot of them is a gamble. So do we take that gamble and spend the 80 million on a striker, whatever? Or would you rather they didn't spend it and waited till they get someone who can improve that team, or go and spend it elsewhere in team to improve the team? Because everyone does complain about that we waste our money. No, I don't want Jackson. I think he's fucking awful.
Can I ask you a question, Scott? In your opinion, is Jackson better than any of Tel, Solanke, or Richie?
No.
All 3.
He's better than all 3.
Yes.
I wouldn't say he's...
I mean, that bar is so low, though. Like, yeah. I've looked, like, he scored. He had 8 goals in limited minutes for Bayern last year, 10 goals at Chelsea, 14 goals at Chelsea, 12 goals at Chelsea. That's not amazing, but it's better than what Solanke has done. It's better than what Richarlison has done.
Better than Richie. It's no better than Richie.
Yeah, it is. Look at Richie's stats.
Yeah, go on Richie's stats for the past since he's been in the Premier League.
Richie's never scored more than 13, so Jackson.
Richarlison had 11 goals, 4 goals, 11 goals, 1 goal. That's less than Jackson.
So on a goals only analysis, Jackson is better.
I want Jackson, but he's got the last 3 years he was in, because last year was at Bayern, 8 goals, 2 assists isn't bad. Right, like for limited minutes.
Me and you could go to Bayern Munich and score goals.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good. And there's something different. Whether he's good
How
or
many
better than
did he score
Richie.
at Chelsea, Scott? Scott, how many did he score when he was at Chelsea?
He scored the 3 seasons. He scored 10 goals, 14 goals, 12 goals in Premier League. I only do Premier League.
That's very, very, very slightly
That's basically
above
Richie level. That's Richie.
That's slightly better.
Slightly, like the thinnest of margins.
So do we go and spend 60 million for one more?
I would not spend 60 million on Jackson. That wasn't. I was asked, is he better than those players? Answer is yes. Would I spend 60 million on him? No. If you told me all we can do, it's the last day of the window, and you can take a loan for Jackson, or you can have nothing, I would take a loan for Jackson. Would I spend 60 million on him? Not a chance. If I could give Chelsea Solanke and Richie and take Jackson back, yes, please. But no, I don't want to buy him because 60 million is ridiculous, and he's on a contract to 2033. So he will be a slight upgrade on Richie and Solanke, but be the same problem. Is that instead of us being 17th with Richie and Solanke, we'll be 15th with Jackson.
Honestly, I don't think he's no better than Richarlison.
I also think he's better at non-goal. Like, he's a better presser. He's better in those aspects as well. But no, we shouldn't want him. The only reason you get him is if it's no other option, and he's going to replace one of Solanke and Richie on a loan for a season.
Richie and Solanke are going nowhere. Yeah, they are not going anywhere. So again, that's where I go to my point. Would you rather we just go and spend it on more crap like them, or just don't spend it at all?
I think there's a big gap between that, though. Like, if you're saying we're just going to get crap, then you don't just keep adding crap on it. But exactly. I think there's something in the middle between.
But people would still complain.
If we sign Jackson, I'll be doing. It's been a while, but I will be doing an emergency podcast.
Yeah, if we sign him for 60 million, that's ridiculous.
The emergency podcasts are back.
That's a bad signing. You're right, Stella.
I agree. And that is what I'm getting at, Scott.
If the Zerbi accepts Jackson, I'm going to start putting the Zerbi. Listen, I'm going to start putting the Zerbi in the Ange category. I'm going to start shifting my conversation.
I'm not going to start doing that. But everyone has a right.
If we have Jackson signed for Tottenham.
Enough. But everyone has a right to look at something and see their red flags on it. I've already got one red flag for De Zerbi, yeah? And I think he's already done some good stuff as well. But not many agree with my red flag. But I'm allowed to look at that. And I think a red flag from De Zerbi is the fact that he's willing to give a goalkeeper the chance when he's had 5 good games. And everybody knows that. For me, that is a red flag from a manager. Because every good manager I've ever heard of, and every elite manager I've ever heard of, one of the first things a lot of them say...
He's giving him a chance, Dan. He's giving him one season.
I know, but for me, that's a red flag. Same as Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson is a red flag for anyone. Anyone who don't see that.
Yeah, but you could say it's a red flag to.
I'm just telling you my personal opinion.
You can say it's a red flag to give Udogie a chance. You could say it's a red flag.
Yeah, but others won't see it.
A chance. It's a red flag to give Solanke and Richie a chance.
I'm just telling you what my one is. My red flag is what he's doing with the goalkeeper. But to anyone else, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't mean it even is. I'm just saying my side of it. Now, your side of it, you're perfectly fine with that, but you'll say a red flag is, like you said, Udogie or Tell or whatever. I think the goalkeeper's more of a red flag than both of them, if I'm going to be totally honest. But that's my side. Like you just said, if we sign Jackson, that's a massive red flag, and I think anybody can see that.
Well, I've already got one red flag. It's called Ben Davies, but I've bored the hell out of everyone. I've bored everyone saying it. Very quickly, thank you, Futures Bright, for the jewels. Thank you, James Watts, for the jewels. Thank you, Steve Turner, for the jewels. Thank you, Tony Rodriguez, for the jewels. Super chat from Adam Gill. Thank you very much, Adam. He says, in your opinion, besides from the obvious unattainables such as Kane, what striker can we realistically get who guarantees goals? I can't think of many. Right, I'll give you 2, and I'll let the others have their say. Ferran Torres from Barcelona and Pavlidis, the Greek striker who plays at Benfica. There's 2 right there.
Torres just had, here we go, to PSG.
Sorry?
That is one we
Torres just had, here we go, to PSG, if you believe Romano anymore.
All right, so there's one player that's going to PSG. So if he's good enough for PSG, maybe he could have been good enough for us. Dan, Scott, any strikers other than Kane that you think comes and gets us goals?
I think there's got to be strikers out there that can do it. I must admit, there's not many that I know of. I mean, from what a lot of people said, that Greek fella that you go on about and Ben goes on about a lot.
Pavlidis, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, from what I've looked up on him after people have mentioned him, looks like he's worth a go. But I must admit, I'm very limited with. I mean, would Ivan Toney be any better? I mean, there's been 2 seasons he hasn't even been in the Premier League, so would he be able to come back and handle the Premier League?
Would you take Thiago from Brentford?
Depending on the price.
If the price was reasonable.
I think he's better than what we got, yeah.
Scott?
Yeah, I think he's better. Thiago isn't my first choice, but I think if he's better than what we have, and I know this, and if De Zerbi has seen something that he can work with his system, which you would assume he does, I think, again, and it might not be possible, my number one choice that's realistic would be Marmoush. Maybe you'd say it's not realistic. Mikatadze, people have talked about. I think he's an option that comes in. He's not going to get us Kane level goals, but I think he can do a good job and get us goals and help us in terms of how we want to play. I think maybe it's too late for them, but I would have at the start of the season looked at Ollie Watkins when Villa was moving people on for financial reasons, a Voltamati when Newcastle were moving on, but now it might be too late for them. I don't have any, I think the problem is there's no obvious ones, right? You're going to bring in Pavlidis has been productive in Portugal. Gyökeres was productive.
He's also been good in the Champions League as well. In Europe.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be angry if we brought him in. I'd have questions like you should. Can he come from Portugal to England? But it's not like we're bringing in somebody who has never produced anywhere and hoping that they suddenly change their style. I wouldn't hate bringing him in. Probably wouldn't be breaking the bank, right? It's not somebody who you're bringing in. I can't imagine it's going to cost us 60, 70 million to bring him in too, so.
Thank you for your super chat, Adam. We've got another super chat here from Carl B. He's an Arsenal fan. Big up everybody. First time here, liked and subbed. Thank you for your Gooner love. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. We've got 3 games before the transfer window ends. Let me bring up the fixtures. So we've got Brentford away, and in between Brentford and the next Premier League game, we've got Charlton Athletic in the Cup, and then we've got Newcastle United at home. So 2, what you would call typically difficult Premier League fixtures. Brentford away is always hard. Newcastle, maybe it's not going to be as hard because they're weakened, but they're going to give us a game. And then we've got the Cup game. So we've got 3 games, 6 Premier League points, and a place in the next round of the Cup before the transfer window ends. How important is it we get these players in now and not wait till after those 3 games?
We need
I think you need them in. We've heard every single manager says it. De Zerbi is going to want it. Everybody's playing a new system, right? I know we had 7 games, but we watched what De Zerbi did. He played away so that we could get through those 7 games, right? He didn't implement what he actually wants to do. So everybody's trying to learn a new system that De Zerbi wants. I think it's vital to get those players in now so that at least they can start. We saw what happened last season when Xavi Simons came in 3 games into the season, right? We weren't sure. We put him out on the left. We put him at 10. We put him on the bench. He's trying to get used to it. It takes time to adapt to a new team. And you don't want to be doing that in the middle of the season, especially. It's one thing if you're Arsenal or you're Liverpool or you're City and you're doing that and you have an established 15 quality players, right? When you're trying to do that with us where we don't have quality players, where we can't afford to say this game we're going to try to implement something new. We can't. The points are going to be so thin for us this year that we can't be saying, okay, we're going to use Brentford away as a way to to practice a new player coming in. Newcastle at home is a game I think we would all expect to win. But if you're playing somebody who's not sure about where you should be on the pitch, that's a way that you lose a game like Newcastle away, in my view, I think.
Yeah. Dan, do you agree with Scott there?
I think Newcastle is a game we should be winning now, personally. They are damaged in a big, big, big way. Who knows? They might come better from it. I don't think so. I think they're going to have a very rocky season. Do I think they're relegation? No, but I think they are going to have a rocky season. Newcastle is one I would honestly be looking at to win that game. I know they've absolutely schooled us a few times over the years, yeah, but that is a game I think we should be winning. Then who's the other? Brentford, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're always awkward bastards. You can have a great team, and Brentford are just one of those pricks that can just be right awkward bastards. Come love nor money, I don't think Brentford are an easy team to beat. Very organised most of the time. They remind me of what Bolton used to be like when Bolton was actually respectable as a team. They're quite physical, get stuck in, very down to earth, quite organised. They're just an awkward team to beat. Once you get a goal or two on them, yeah, you've done it. But they're just awkward bastards to beat, I think. They're one of those teams that you're like, oh, we have to play them. And it's not because you're scared of it. It's more because you know you are going to have to work for that game, even if you have got the better team. I think Brentford are awkward bastards. But Newcastle, honestly, with what's happened to them, I think we should win that game, even if we've just got the team we've got now.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brentford is going to be a difficult game.
It always is.
Yeah, it always is, and they're a good team at home. We've struggled there in recent years. We've typically picked up draws. I wouldn't be surprised if we played Brentford and we draw. I won't be surprised at all. Newcastle, I don't know. They're not as good as what they were. They've lost very good players, but do I trust Tottenham? First game at home. Everyone's going to be super excited. Everyone's going to predict a win. It's always these games where we just kind of disappoint. So, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we draw our first two games of the Premier League. But then I also think this is our best chance to beat Newcastle in a while as well. So
Newcastle have basically lost their heartbeat, literally. They have had their midfield ripped out of them. Okay, other people tell me, but they've gone and bought quality players to go there, and have they bought better players than what they had?
They've lost Gordon to Barcelona as well, haven't they? Gordon's gone Barcelona.
That's what I'm saying. They have lost 3 of their first 11. And not just 3 that are in that team. They have lost 3 of... They've probably lost their 3 best players.
And their manager.
Would you agree with that?
And their manager.
Yeah. Would you agree they've lost their 3 best players? I admit Tonali wasn't good last year. I don't think Gordon was that good last year.
Dan, I agree with you. I think we should be beating Newcastle, but my worry is it all depends who the attack is. If it's the current front 3, I would not be shocked if we draw. I won't be stunned because Maddison's not fit, Kudus isn't fit, Kulu's not fit, Simmons isn't fit. There's no creativity. We lack creativity and we lack an attack. So all these things we say, oh, but Newcastle have lost their 3 best players. Oh, but Newcastle have lost their manager. We don't have an attack and we have no creativity. So it's almost like, well, they're going to be looking at us saying they're overhyped. They're probably going to look at us and say they're quite overhyped, this lot.
No, I can go with that as well. But even with the team we got, I think after the injuries that they've had, injuries, you know what I'm trying to say, yeah? Like literally having their heart ripped out of them, their arm ripped off, basically, if you want to put it like that. They have lost their 3 best players on there, without a doubt. I think we should actually be beating them. And with their manager out of them as well, maybe they'll come on with something to prove, and then you got to watch it with a team like that because they could end up quite dodgy because they got a point to prove, new manager in there and everything else. But with the players they've lost, and they weren't good last season either, I think we should be beating them.
Yeah, I think we should. I just think that seems like a typical game where you should go in and beat them. But if we're messing around, we don't have anyone to score the goals. It's one of those games where we dominate. They get a goal on a counter, 1-0 loss because Tell has sent every shot of his 45 yards above the net because Solanke is, every time they cross in, Solanke isn't there to get the ball. Richarlison is kicking balls that hit himself in the head, in the face. Like that's what I'm worried about. That's a game where you should go in ready to go. And you, like you said, Dan, they're not ready. We take care of them. But if we're still screwing around with the front line, it just seems like it could be an unnecessary banana peel.
Not a banana skin, a banana peel. I like that.
No, I do get that, but it's a game we can definitely. I mean, look, if we're going to be honest, we can lose any bloody game. Yeah, we are capable of doing that. But I do think Newcastle. I think they've been damaged that much that we should be going there for the kill, even if we have only got Richie and Till up there and whoever we've got on the right. I think we've got enough there to control the midfield. I think we've got a better defence than them, and I think that's where you can control the game basically.
Did you see today that Porro returned to Spurs and De Zerbi got all the staff, the players, the academy to line up the entrance, and they gave him almost a guard of honor for winning the World Cup, and then he individually shook hands, and I personally thought that was a really smart move from De Zerbi. I think that's a really good psychological move from De Zerbi. If you want to get the spirits up, if you want to get a player raising his game, and if you want to get that kind of unity going, these are the kind of things that I think are smart. What did you make of it, guys? Do you think it was all just for marketing and for the cameras, or do you think, nah, fair play, De Zerbi, nice, you played a blinder there? How did you feel when you saw that? What did you think?
Yeah, I didn't see it when it happened. I was on a stream with Brian, and he mentioned it. Looking at the pictures, I haven't seen the full video, but I think number one, when you see some of the reactions from the people, it does seem like Porro's generally well liked. Like I think that's one of the things I take from that is obviously Porro has a good reputation at the club and is well liked. I think looks great. It didn't look too PR-y for me, and usually that's why I told Diggle I didn't watch it, because usually the Tottenham videos are so like there's just so much PR that it's hard to watch.
Cringy, innit?
But this one, and again, I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've looked into it since I was on the video on the stream with Brian this morning, and it looks like, yeah, credit to the club. Credit if De Zerbi wasn't the one that organized it, credit to him. And I do think though it does show, because when you're looking there, right, people look generally happy for Porro, and I think maybe it shows what a good guy he is, and that people at the club really do like him and are happy for him.
I agree. I think he's actually a liked player at the place. Romero, I'm very 50-50 with. I personally think there was a few there that were not keen on the fella. And if you go by what some people say the dressing room was like, I know you can only just take a word for it as such, but I can actually believe what some of the people have said there. I can actually believe that Romero weren't the most popular fella at the club as well, if he was acting the way he was. I think Porro is a popular player because he's got the heart for the game. He's good enough for the game if you play him the right way. And yeah, I think he's a good. Do you know what? I think he's also captain material as well, if I'm going to be honest.
Would you make Porro captain the next season, Dan?
I think he's captain material. He wouldn't necessarily be me, if I wanted a captain, I think there's three there that you could put there as captain material. And for me, forget how much they play, whatever. I'm just saying who are captain material people. Obviously, you want your captain to play in that, so that's one of them out the window. But people that are captain material for me in that team, I would say Porro is captain material. All right, if he does, then he's got to shut his face when it comes to the fans a little bit, which I think he's got the mentality to do that. I think Tonali is a captain material person, and Robertson is 1,000% captain material. Maddison is not a captain in any means or manner. He was as bad as Son in the aspect of being a vice captain. And plus, you don't even know if he's going to bloody play. He is not captain material. As soon as he's been kicked a few times, he just walks around with his knuckles running on the floor like half the other players did last season anyway. And he's not a captain material person. I don't want Wilson as captain. No chance. For me, I think Porro is genuine captain. I think Van der Ven could be captain material as well. There's out of the four that I would probably go for as captain. If we end up with Maddison or Ben Davies, I would be pissed off. Now, I'm not saying
I don't want Maddison. I don't want Maddison as captain because he's injured. And Ben Davies, if he gets captaincy, I give up. I actually give up.
Is that another emergency show?
No, that's I'm shutting down the channel.
I was going to say that's a goodbye. That's a goodbye show.
That's a goodbye show.
Davies as captain. That's a style saying goodbye.
I
think Porro's a good option. I have no problem. The one thing he may not be the greatest defender, but I don't ever question his work ethic. I think he tries. He's not a bad defender.
He's quite
because
vocal,
he's lazy.
isn't he? He's always
Yes.
shouting
Yeah.
on the pitch. He's quite vocal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's
he,
what
he works hard. He seems proud to be here. I would be fine for him if he was our captain. World Cup winner, so you can say he has some pedigree with winning, if that's important to you. I think you'd be a good choice.
I'd give it to this guy. I'd give it to Senesi. I think he led the line for Bournemouth last year. He did a fantastic job, brilliant job, especially with Bournemouth losing pretty much their entire back four. And he led the line, and they got sixth, and it landed Iriola the Liverpool job. And I think Senesi, he's a leader at the back, and I personally like my captains to be centre halves because they can see the whole pitch and they can communicate with the goalie. And I if you think of some of the best captains you've ever seen, Sol Campbell at Spurs, John Terry at Chelsea, Tony Adams at Arsenal, Gary Mabbott at Spurs, Steve Bruce at Man United. I think it's made for a centre half, but I'm old school, so I don't know if old school works anymore in football. But I'd give it to Senesi. I think he's an experienced centre half that plays exactly how De Zerbi wants, and I think he'd be a really good captain for us. But I don't know what his communication skills like. So if he's not good at communication, then I don't know. Maybe I've just contradicted myself.
Aren't we having the same issue though with Madison? Is how often is Senesi going to be playing for us?
I think Senesi's going to play quite a lot for us, Scott.
Over Van de Ven?
Mate, Senesi, out of Van Heck, Van de Ven and Senesi had the best season out of all of them last season. I did a video on Senesi and a video on Van Heck, and I know what Van de Ven's like. Senesi last year was quality. Absolutely quality.
I agree. I like that we have him. Is he gonna play ahead of Van de Ven?
You know what some people argue with the cap. How can
I think he's a better footballer than Van de Ven. I think he's a better footballer.
You see with Van de Ven what you say there, yeah? I think Van de Ven is a good player. I think he is a good defender.
He is a good
player. But people go on about him like he's quality. I mean, people are telling me he's £100 million player. Well, these days probably is. But people were telling me like he's a quality defender, he's mustard, this and that, whatever. No, he's a good defender. I won't deny that. I think he actually gets overhyped purely because of his pace.
I'm fine having a Senesi Van de Ven conversation starting. Like I wouldn't. I just don't think it's what we're going to do. I would love to play a back three. I mean, I think in many ways our team looks set up for a back three.
On paper, this team still looks best as a back three.
Let's take the super chat. Guys, let's take the super chat from Steve Turner. Big up to you, Steve. He says, back three if no wingers for Brentford. What do you think?
I've been saying that for about 2 years. And when we did try it, yes, it went totally wrong. But when you go and change from one style of football to another when they haven't even trained on it, yes, you expect better of the players. They're meant to be professional. And also people think a back three is attacking. No, defending. Back three, you can play the most attacking football you want because you've got three at the back and you can literally have everyone charge up. You can play it as a Christmas tree if you want. There's plenty of ways you can play a back three. Back three, people straight away think defensive-minded football. Not at all. Is Porro a defensive-minded player? No, he's not. Is he good defensive? No, he's not. He's absolutely crap as a right back. He's fucking awful. That is why every team focuses on him. But go and do what Spain did with him, put him as a wing back, or even put him literally as a right winger, which they did at times. All of a sudden, you've got a totally different player there.
Mate,
if we haven't got the wingers up there, it would actually make sense to use the wing backs we've got. Maybe that's what he actually wants to do. I don't know.
Do you know what? Do you remember? Was it Martinez that was manager of Wigan?
Yeah,
is it Martinez?
Roberto Martinez.
Yeah, he played a 3-4-3, which is so. If you're going to play possession-based football, the best two formations are 3-4-3 or 4-3-3 because you create the most amount of triangle patterns in those formations. That if you're going to play the what's the word? Not the maths. Freaking hell! I'm having one tonight. The shape.
Science. don't know.
No. I think it's the maths. The maths, when you connect all the dots, it's called the maths. The maths of it means you create more triangles than any other formation. Most managers, when they play possession-based football, go with a 4-3-3 because it's attacking, but it also has that defensive protection. The managers that really go for it and try and flood that midfield and do take the risk at the back play 3-4-3. I saw Martinez take Wigan to Arsenal and beat Wigan against a very good Arsene Wenger team. And that same Wigan team in a 3-4-3 beat Man City in the cup final to win the cup. That's Wigan's. I mean, it was. They also got relegated that season playing 3-4-3. So I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it, but the 3-4-3 has a place. It has a place in possession-based football. So what I'm trying to say here is, if De Zerbi goes with a 4-3-3, but then pivots to a 3-4-3 once in a while, I'm all for that because there is a big place for it. Pep Guardiola at Barcelona, there's many games where he went to a 3-4-3, but you've got to have the players for it as well. You have to have the players for a 3-4-3, otherwise you get relegated like Martinez did because he didn't have the players for it, and he still did it.
If you look at it on paper, if you look on it player for player on paper, that team is still made, like for the last 2 years, it's still made for three at back. We have now got a solid back three there. And I don't think no one would argue with that. We have a very, very good wing back on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we also have someone there who could also do a very good job in Robertson. He's our best crosser of the ball there at the moment. For me, he can probably cross the ball and pass the ball better than Porro, if we're going to be honest on what we've seen over the years. Has it come down a step or two? I don't think his crossing and passing has, but I think his pace has come back, and we know he ain't the best defender. But if it's going to be a wing-back's job is not to defend. Yes, you come back and help like everyone else, but you're not there to defend as a wing-back. You're there to push forward from deep. That is what a wing-back is. That's where a lot of people, I think, either don't understand or get mixed up with what a fullback is meant to do and a wing-back is meant to do. Two totally different jobs. So at the back, we're totally built for that, 100%. And then if you look at what we got in midfield, with Fernandes and Tonali, we've got two good midfielders who can control a game, who are very good at coming back on themselves. One definitely very good as a deep line playmaker. He was excellent at AC Milan when they played in that way. Also good at getting forward with the ball. Also good at direct ball passing with the ball, short ball passing, and can even do a good long ball on him. Then you start getting up the front is where it starts getting a bit dodgy, no matter what formation you're going to use. But at the moment, this team is more built for three at the back, I would say.
By the way, I just want to quickly say the word I wanted. Thank you for the guys in the chat who corrected me. It was geometry. Thank you very much. That was the word I was looking for. The geometry of the shape of the formations. I was thinking symmetry, maths. No, hold on. I knew the word. I just couldn't get it out. But anyway, go on, Scott.
I was going to say, I agree 100% with Dan. Like our back line, both, I think Udogie and Robertson, especially Robertson at this stage in his career, would both benefit from being wing backs rather than traditional fullbacks. Porro, obviously, we know. I know it's rumor, but if you get Munoz from Crystal Palace, again, he is very much an attack-minded. He would be, him coming in as a wing back, cutting into the box, would remind me a lot of what Dan probably saw with how Conte used his wing backs at Inter when they won the league, right? Them coming in. Munoz would be great at that if we get him. I think up front is going to be a problem no matter what we play, but if you get a Gakpo would work perfectly, right? Because he can play more inside as the wing backs are overlapping. He's perfect to play a little bit more inside rather than being out wide. Gakpo, who we're rumored to get, would fit in with that. And then we're going to need to get a player up front no matter what we play. But I think it does make sense, but Dan's been saying it for years. I've agreed with him since back in the Conte that we were set up for it, and it doesn't seem like we've gone to it. But I think Senesi, Van Hecke, and Van de Ven are three of our best players. And we want to do things that gets your best players on the pitch, in my view, especially when we're so limited. So I would love to see it. I do think, though, then we would need at least one more center back, because right now we only have Danso.
Yes.
And we would need one more center back to come in at least just as depth for that. Danso, I think you could fill him in at the center of the back three. It might even be better than playing him in as a back in the back four.
On a back three, yeah, I think Danzo would be a good man there to stick in the middle, play him as your no-nonsense centre
He'll
back
be a
there.
disaster,
You
Dan.
just
He'll
do
be a
your shit,
disaster.
and then you've got others either side of him. I think Danzo could work in the middle of a back three.
He'll be an absolute disaster. Shocking.
But I'm saying, you think he'll be a disaster in a back four or a back three? I'll say I think he would fit better. He'd fit better in the back three than a back four.
That is what I'm basically agreeing with. Then basically a back two, like centre backs. Danzo is going to work better in the middle of three than he is on the side of
not in the way De Zerbi's going to play football. Not, if we went to a 3-5-2 Conte style, I get it. But the way De Zerbi's going to play that back three in a possession-based system, Danzo will be a disaster.
Hang on. You just said the way we're going to play him. We don't know how we're going to play. That's just
I do. I know how De Zerbi plays football. And I know exactly how
he does it. So what formation are we going to use then? What is going to be our main formation?
A 4-3-3 or a slight variation on a 4-3-3, which looks like a 4-1-2-3, which is still a 4-3-3.
Okay, so we're not going to play three at the back.
Some games, but it won't be as much as four at the back. No.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is why Robertson's been signed, because I know he's going to play with those attacking, overlapping fullbacks. I know he's going to look to do that, because Solomon was kind of playing that role in the three at the up top, but I think he's going to get Porro to do that more so. And also Kai Martin, when he was playing left back, he was bombing up quite a lot as well. Sometimes on the overlap, sometimes inverting. So I've got a strong. I'm very confident in how De Zerbi is going to play, which is why I've literally hit the panic button with Danzo, because I fear it.
We're going to get killed if we have Robertson doing that, though. He can't defend in that system.
Which is why he's going to need whoever plays in the 6 is going to have to shift over and cover that space, because if he asks the centre back to shift over, it's going to open us up at the back.
Exactly,
and that is where
Tonali again. You've got a very good player there if you play him the right way. A lot of people only know him from Newcastle, basically, because a lot of people don't watch other leagues or haven't done, and I know a lot of people do as well, but a lot of people don't. I used to watch Tonali and rated him very highly when he was at AC Milan, and at AC Milan they didn't judge him to be the next Pirlo for no reason. Now, okay, that's a bit OTT that they judged him as that, but personally, I think going to Newcastle, where they pretty much just used him as an anchor man, held him actually back as a player. There's a lot more to him. One of the things you can say that I remember with Tonali, he's very, very, very good off the ball. The way AC Milan used to play him. Basically as a deep line playmaker, defensive midfielder at the same time sort of thing, and then press forward when he needs to as well. He reads a game extremely well. He would be a very good player to have back there to get control of the ball. He's very good at doing that, and getting the ball forward when he needs to. But he's also very good at reading the game. Someone goes forward, coming over to cover them. But from what I've heard, Fernandes is even better at that on the defensive midfield role. But I haven't seen enough of Fernandes to judge him on that side. So I'm only going by what I know about Tonali. Again, that is another player that if we play him the right way, like I keep saying, we've got to play Porro the right way, we have got a very good player there. But if we just want to use him as an anchor man, same as Newcastle, for me, that's another waste of a player.
Well, I think we'll see. I think you're right. I think De Zerbi knows how he wants to play Tonali. I think Tonali also obviously got hurt by the first season he came in, missing most of the season with his suspension. But I expect we'll see more of that AC Milan player, just in part because of how we're set up versus how House sets up, like with the players we have. I think it'll be good. I think Fernandes and Tonali, I mean, you'll see once they're on the pitch, but they look like they'll be a good partnership together.
Is Fernandes fit now?
I think so. I think he'll probably. I would hope he would play against Hoffenheim. I think it was more of a he had something, and we're not going to waste playing him in Australia to make it worse. But with Spurs, you never know, right?
No, you never know.
I mean, how good actually is Fernandes? I mean, I've done a lot of checking up on him and that. Watched a lot of YouTube videos.
He's a very, very, very good baller. He's a baller. He can play ball. He can beat a man.
Because
he can
I
slip
can
a
do a
pass
video.
in. He can
make
glide
us
left,
look.
glide right. He's a proper technical football player. The only thing he's lacking is, I don't know if it's because he was at West Ham. Goals wise, he got like 3 assists, not massively high. But again, look at the team he was playing in. But then look at who he's going to be feeding at Tottenham right now.
Yeah.
So we're back. You know, we've signed a good player that's going to be feeding donkeys. You know, it's this image, isn't it? Look, I'll come back to your super chat in just a minute, a user. It's this image. Where is it? Look, they're feeding the pigeon. Yeah. I bring this up every show, but this is the current situation at Spurs. This is the current situation. So,
I mean, I've heard a lot about him. I've seen him play about 4 games. I mean, I had to put up with watching Spurs last season. Why the fuck am I going to watch West Ham as well? So I've heard he's very, very good at basically at what you said. I mean, Benji rates him all the time. Even spoke about him before he even went to Spurs, basically. But I must admit, I don't know nothing about him. That's why I don't really judge him as such of what he could or couldn't do in the team. I know how Tonali worked at AC Milan.
Yeah, I'm no expert. I did watch West Ham, and you say, why would you want to watch West Ham? Only because because I was hoping that they would lose so that we would stay up. The thing that I liked when I watched him is, especially compared to some of the guys we had last year with Gray, Bergvall, even at times Bentancur coming back from his injury, is he wants the ball. He's comfortable with the ball. You don't see, he doesn't run into blind alleys. He goes and gets the ball when he has it. He's confident in what he's doing. He makes usually the right choice with the ball. And that's what I think we've been missing, right? Players in that midfield that want to have the ball and make the right choices with it. We'll see. I mean, he is young, right? He's done it for 2 teams, and there is a hope with him that he's going to be able to take what he's done and naturally progress as a 22-year-old. But what I liked watching him is when he had the ball, you weren't wondering what the F is he doing. And I don't know about you, but when our midfielders have had the ball recently, I've been saying, what the fuck are you doing? So...
Well, about the only midfielder we had that you could say can actually control the ball is Bentancur. He can, and he's good at it
when he's on. But when he was coming back from his injury, right, he wasn't quite there all the time.
He's never been the same player since he had that major injury. But we've still got a good enough player. I think we've got a pretty solid. I think we've got a top 6 midfield there. When you've got Fernandez, if he's as good as everybody tells me. With Tonali there, and then he's a good player. That's what I'm saying. If he's as good as everyone tells me, I don't know.
He's not wow. He's not like mind-blowingly what an amazing player. But he's good.
I honestly don't know much about him at all.
He's a good player.
So we've got Fernandez and Tonali there with the backup of Bentancur, which is not bad for most teams. I mean, it getting to the first team of, I'd say, half the Premier League at least. And then Gallagher as well, who I think is a player that gets a lot of stick. I think he's one of those players you'd notice more if he's not on the pitch than when he's on the pitch, if that makes any sense. I think that's quite a solid centre mid we've got there.
I agree. I think now, I mean, I'm not trying to crap on Bentancur. I think he's properly positioned. This is where he should be for a top 6 to 8 team, right? I think him in that role where he isn't starting and playing 90 minutes a week, he's perfect in that. Like he's exactly what you want, I think, in a substitute.
Because when we brought him on with Paulinho, we changed in midfield a hell of a lot. I'm not even saying we were good because we was that shit, but we looked a lot more stable when we played Paulinho and Bentancur in the middle than we did with like Gray and Sarr or Gray and Gallagher or Gray and we looked, as soon as Paulinho and Bentancur, at the start, we looked a lot more stable in the middle. At the end, we looked a lot more stable again. But then you had the Spurs fans coming in of Tottenham don't play this way. This isn't the Tottenham way of playing. Don't give me that bullshit. There hasn't been no consistent Tottenham way of playing since 1960, for God's sake. Bar 5 years here or 2 years there.
Yeah, I think it is. I agree. Top 6 midfield. I don't know if it's higher than 6th, but it's certainly in that conversation.
Yeah, I think the centre mids we've got is a top 6 centre mid, basically. Yeah. I mean, because anyone who says that Gallagher is not good enough for this team, basically, I don't know what they're getting at. Okay, you might not want him in the first team, but for me, even when he played as a number 10, all right, he's not the Maddison that people want, the flashy playmaker and that. He can still get you 8 goals in a season. Look at what he done at Palace. He's one of those ones who plays as a number 10 and just runs through everybody, basically, and a toe punt at the goal and get a goal now and again. He's very good at getting the ball back. He's very good at hassling people. He's not just one who runs all over the place like a headless chicken for me, like, say, Bergvall does. He actually gets his job done. And especially when you're playing in the right way as such, or a consistent way, I think Gallagher, we've got a good player there, and I can't see why people complain about him. Especially for the price we got him at as well. I mean, this is where I argue the point that people tell me that Gallagher isn't good enough. Like, he was good at Chelsea. He was very good at Palace. At Atletico Madrid, he was respectable, but okay, look at the players he had to come up against as well, but it didn't quite land for him. And then people complain about Gallagher, but then justify certain other players that we played with. It doesn't make no sense to me.
Let me quickly do a super chat. Now, I just want to address something in the chat. A user, Spurs bid 85 million for Savinho. City dig heels in. True. A user, thank you for the super chat. Rewind about 20, 25 minutes. We had this conversation, all right? So go back. We had that chat. Appreciate your super chat, though. So there's someone in the chat who's desperate for my attention, and I'll give it to him because I'm good like that. So let me quickly address you, and then we will move on with the show. So Grime Garage says, Stel, you've coached, correct. And please remember, you have not. So when people say this, you've coached, Stel, don't talk as if you have, because this is what people do. Did you always play the same system formation, or did you adapt to the opposition's tactics? My job was to develop players. I never got to sign players and spend mega money. That's the difference between youth football and the pro game. And my job was to develop players to a level so that they can get signed up by the pro game academies. And if you develop enough good players and you got them in a team, quite often they'd win games. At my club, we had the same philosophy throughout the whole club. From age 6 to the age 18, we all played the same way. But a manager who won't change their system is limited. You have to be able to adapt. Stubbornness is not a trait that helps you losing the game. De Zerbi is going to have a non-negotiable, and he's going to have negotiables. The non-negotiable will be playing out from the back, keeping possession of the ball, overloading the wide areas and the front three, and he's going to make us somewhat stable in that defensive midfield area so we don't get sprung on countless times like we did with Ange. These will be non-negotiables. Will he adapt? He'll tweak. He's not going to completely change the way we play. No, he won't. De Zerbi's not that type of manager. Just like Jurgen Klopp wasn't, just like Poch wasn't, just like many other possession-based managers, even Pep. They'll tweak, but they're not going to change the way they play. There's only 2 more from him, then we're done. Still, you keep saying how De Zerbi will play. Yes. However, what happens when he comes to the conclusion that these players can't play the system well enough and decides to change the system? He's signing players to play his system. He's signing technical players with Premier League experience to play his system. So he's not going to look at them and say, you can't play my system. They're either going to learn it or they'll be out. That's what's going to happen. That's why he's signing specific types of players. And finally, Stel, you say we're signing Robert De Zerbi players, but in the same breath you admit we've had club signings. Yes, that happens to every manager. But when have we signed players like Fernandes, Tonali, Van Heck and Senesi in the same window who are all his type of players? And I believe the reason he's playing Kinski is because Kinski can play his system. I know Dan thinks it's a risk, but from what I've seen of Kinski, he can play a De Zerbi style of football from a keeper perspective. And then you say, surely a manager coach has to be able to adapt and change things. Tweak is very different to adapt. Adapt to say, right, we're not doing 4-3-3. We're going to go to a 5-4-1. Completely change it. He'll adapt. He'll tweak little areas, but he's not going to change his philosophy in the way we play. Pep never changed his philosophy. Klopp never changed his philosophy. Poch never changed his philosophy. And I'm telling you, De Zerbi's not going to change his philosophy. And I can see by the kind of players that we are bringing in. I hope that answers your question. If not, listen, I don't know what else to say. All right. Benji's here. Let's bring in the most fake positive YouTuber that's burst onto the scene, who's making noise and growing his channel. I'm only joking. How you doing, Benji? You all right?
So there's no need for that. I was a little bit buttered then. I'm good. How are you? You good?
Yeah, we're good. We're going for another half an hour, then I'm going to wrap it up. So
yeah, no worries. I heard you talking about how the team's going to play and what you think is going to happen and what players are going to do. Can I?
Yeah, 1 second. I just forgot something. Thank you, Kale, for the super jewels. Thank you, Cyril McCoys, for the jewels. Thank you, Carl, again. And thank you, Steve Turner. Totally forgot, guys. My apologies. Thank you so much for your donations. Benji, go for it, man.
Yeah, no. Listen, I think we're going to play. I think based on the fact that we've got no centre attacking midfielders fit, right? Okay, I think we're going to play a flat sort of 4-3-3. And obviously, look, De Zerbi's quite famously known for in that sort of formation change during a game. He goes into a 3-4-3, doesn't he? He likes doing that. But as far as the two midfielders go, so look, I slightly disagree with Danny. Now, I know Dan and myself, we both love the Italian league. We both love Tonali, but the way I look at him now, I think he's adapted his game since being at AC Milan. And I'm basing it on the fact that, Dan, you got to admit this, it's incredibly slow in Serie A. You don't have the same sort of time on the ball. It's one of those things. And I don't think Tonali would be as good in the Premier League doing that as he was in the Serie A. But again, that's just my opinion. So look, the way I see those two midfielders is, when I look at Tonali, what impresses me with someone like him is his short, sharp, quick, smart, intelligent passes. You know, his quick little whip balls. So I actually think
He's very good
probably,
off the ball,
of course he is. Mate, and he's so fast. But anyway, you know, for me, I would have him slightly more forward than a Fernandez. So look, listen, I watched a lot of Fernandez last season because, look, we was in a relegation battle with him, right? So I was watching, I wanted to see what was going on. Fernandez is absolutely a baller and a half. I think the ability he's got to play make from deep is phenomenal. And I think I overheard you say that he hasn't got too many goals to his games. To his game. You're right still, but he was playing for West Ham in all fairness, like you said, and half the time he was defending more so than attacking. But the kid's ability to play mate from deep, I actually think is better than Tonali's. However, I think further up the pitch, I think Tonali is far more effective. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I feel like we're going to play a flat 4-3-3. Was there an agreement there? Is that what everyone sort of came to the conclusion of?
I think we're going to play. I think we're playing. So, Benji, did you say you think we're going to play with a flat back three?
A flat 4-3-3.
Yeah, that's
so
what
no cam. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that as well.
I think we'll do 4-2-1-3, but I don't think it matters that much. However, it is.
Yeah, Scott, that's just a variation on the 4-3.
I just mean I think we'll have a cam. I think we'll have somebody who is clearly more of a central attacking midfielder rather than having three kind of central midfielders. That's why I say the one part, just to kind of like, I think it'll be a Madison or a Kudos or Simmons when he's back playing that role more than, say, Gallagher, Bentancur filling that role.
I think the 10 and the 8 are going to be rotating. I think the 10 and the 8 are going to be interchanging. But the problem is, that means the 8 has to be creative, and Fernandez can do it. He can do it. Obviously, we need the attackers. So I think Fernandez in the 8 will be most important, because when the 10 drops into the 8 and the 8 steps in, at least Fernandez can create.
Tonali can create. If you
yes, you can. Both can.
Yeah, Tonali can as well. But I agree with Benji. I think Fernandez is a better creator. I think Fernandez is a creator.
I can't.
Hold on. Before you go, I did say from deep, I feel like Fernandez is a better creator. Going forward in the final third, I'd actually give that to Tonali, if I'm honest with you still. I think his passes are intelligent. Do you really? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, Fernandez is a really, really good footballer. Really good.
Mate, the guy's a baller. Do you know what? So, as I've said previously, Dan and me are, look, we love Tonali. He's a great footballer. We've always admired him since Brescia. And I got to tell you, I honestly think, I truly believe, and I've said this to Dan as well, I think Fernandez's ceiling is beyond Tonali. That kid could truly be something special. I mean, I reckon come the end of the season, he's very quickly going to become everyone's favourite player at Spurs. The guy is an absolute baller. But do you know what the beautiful thing is here? How nice is it to argue who the better player is going to be in that centre midfield? Because we've got two.
Not the worst player.
Oh, my God. Isn't it nice?
But Ben, look, this is what I was just saying to others earlier. We've also got Bentancur, which is not a bad player at all. Maybe not first team, but not a bad player to have as your sub. And Gallagher, who a player I think gets a lot of stick for no reason, basically. Like someone just saying on the side that he's like no better than Henderson, basically. Like, yeah, Henderson. I thought Henderson was a very good player at what he did. No, wasn't he a technically gifted player, wasn't a skillful player, but like hell was it good to have Henderson. He was a major part of Liverpool's team that done shit, for God's sake. It's good to have a Gallagher when you're playing a hard game. like a Brentford game, something like that. Gallagher, for me, is a person you want in that starting lineup. I think Gallagher is a better player than people give him credit for. It's all because he doesn't do the flash stuff and everything and that, and he just does the dirty work that I don't think he gets noticed. Now, I'm not saying he's a quality player or nothing, but I think Gallagher is a very good player to have in your squad.
100%. Like, I think if Gallagher beat 3 guys and kicked the ball out of bounds, our fans would love it. Right? Like, they want some ineffective flash. Like, I bet you the same people say Gallagher crap rate Bergvall, who runs into blind alleys every day and can't make a single pass, who takes himself out of position when they're pressing because he doesn't work with the people around him.
Loses the ball every time he bloody gets it. Can't pass, can't shoot, can't cross, can't head the bloody ball. He's been
just makes no
useless.
sense. Stell, in the way you're talking, though, do we have somebody, like, who do you see filling that role? You say the 8 and 10 are kind of interchanging. Who's going to do the 10 in that role then? Like, is that something Madison? Is that how Madison would play?
We don't have any fit player that can do it right now. Kudus can do it. Simmons can do it. Madison can do it. That's it. There's no other player at the club that can do it.
Because I do think
I'm going to throw this out there
here, probably, but I think the 10 is an issue that we might have to address. Right?
We don't have one fit player that can play in that 10 right now. Not one.
Nothing.
Gallagher is probably the one that we've.
No, mate. Did you? No. He's not a 10. He's not. He's fucking awful as a 10.
And he's not a good 10.
Not for me. He's done well as a 10.
The only time you'd want him in that 10 position is when you've got specific instruction to close down. That's it. Other than that,
that's what I'm saying. We don't know what the 10's going to be. And Palace, how many goals did he score at Palace as a 10? He actually done well there as a 10. It's just when you say a 10, people
look at the way Palace play football, Dan. Look at the way Palace played football. It's nothing like what we're going to do. Our 10 has got to be a creative spark. It has to be.
Then you've got probably more chance with what we've got with fit people at the moment. If Madison ain't fit, then for me, the one who's probably reads the game the best and has got the most creativity there, for me, would be Tonali then. And I'm not saying he is a 10, but if we have to put someone there who you want with a bit of creativity, who can read a game and pass the ball, then for me, Tonali is the no-brainer that goes there.
Do you know?
And then Gallagher and Fernandez in midfield. Would you argue with that?
Do you know who might? Do you know who might be worth a crack at it? But I don't know if he can do it. I don't know. Maybe, and this is a big maybe, Bentancur.
Oh, come on.
I said big maybe, Benji. I said a big maybe.
That's a big maybe. That's a big maybe.
You know what?
Only because his passing is good. He's a very good, clean passer of the ball. That's what I'm saying.
I'd say Tonali is a better.
Bentancur's a good passer.
Bentancur is a fucking terrible player. He needs to go immediately.
No, he's not.
Terrible. No, you all complain. You all complain about fucking Romero.
I complain he gets
inconsistent.
He's a footballer, though.
Mate, he's the most inconsistent midfielder in our team, bar none. Bar none.
Right.
No, he's not.
Fuck off. Name someone else who's more inconsistent in midfield.
Bergvall, Gray.
I'm not counting Bergvall and Gray. They're children.
Oh, right, because it don't suit you, don't count them. Shut up, Ben. Seriously, mate. You can't go saying that and then say, yeah, but I don't count him.
They aren't seasoned players of the age of 27, 28.
I don't care.
He's a terrible player. He's had his time.
Got an option if we don't play Bentancur.
But do you know what annoys me about Bentancur? And I'll just say this quickly, right?
But Benji, hold on a minute. Bentancur is not a terrible player. He's not a terrible player.
Well, he ain't good. Do you know what annoys me about him, right? Look, and still, I know you're going to blame me for saying this game.
He's a good player, but that's it. He's not wow.
What makes him good? Explain to me. Do you know the only ability he's got? The only ability he's got is being press proven. That's it.
When we actually were doing all right under Frank, it's when Palini and Bentancur played every game. Mm-hmm. And it's no surprise that De Zerbi turned around the season when Bentancur was one of the players that came back from injury. There's no coincidence.
And he was one of the better players on the pitch as well.
He was.
He turned up for a few games. Well done. He turned up for a few games.
You know what? You're being harsh on him, man. He's not.
I'm not. I'm
the first to slam him.
You lot are all like, oh, Bentancur all of a sudden.
No. I've always said Bentancur is a good player.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're all fucking. No, I'm not having this.
We just had a conversation about how good it is that Bentancur is now coming off the bench because that's a good role for him. That's not like wow.
No one has said he should be starting.
I'd replace him in a heartbeat. I can't stand. I used to love him, but what irritates me with him is go and watch him against PSG in the first that Super Cup game. if you didn't know anything about football and you watched him, you'd have said, "Fuck me, he's got to be world class." This is the problem with Bentancur. He can throw performances that blow your mind, and then he'll go missing for 10 games. He's no good. He's no good. He's no good.
No, I think he's quite a consistent player in the aspect of you'll get a six out of him, 7 sort of thing. And I'm not saying that's good enough all the time, yeah, not at all. But Bentancur's biggest problem, same as it was in Italy, yeah, when they played him as a deep line playmaker, DM at times, and then you even checked that up if I remember right, because you didn't believe me on it, yeah. And his biggest problem is, it's like he almost gets a phone call sometimes. And he'll stand there and answer the call. And for that moment, he just totally switches off in the middle of the game for a minute or two. Yeah. That is his biggest problem. But as an out-and-out player, Bentancur is another fine one to have in your team. I'd rather have Bentancur than fucking Gray, Bergvall, Sarr. Bentancur, I'd say, is more creativity-wise and better passing than Gallagher. Does anyone disagree with what I've said there? Apart from you, obviously, Ben.
That's exactly right. I mean, look, I'll sell Bentancur if we're bringing in some better player, but
obviously,
if we sell Bentancur now, we're stuck with Sarr, Bergvall, or Gray, and he's so much better than any of them.
Yeah, he is massively better than.
I mean, that's if we're comparing him to those sorts of players, I mean,
well, we have to.
That proves he's not all. You said that proves he's not awful because we just
fucking awful.
Yeah, but we still want to get rid of the dead wood in this team, and I'm sorry, he's one of them. Sarr, Bentancur, Gray, they can all go. He's
a good squad player. I think Bentancur's a good squad player.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Bentancur is you replace him next summer. He's a next summer replacement.
I just feel like he's part of the old problem. That's all. When I look at Bentancur, it irritates me because of what I've seen over the last few years. And what sucks is, you know what? Maybe I am being a bit too harsh on him. Fair play. I think, look, after that injury he got, he was never the same player. But
no, I agree.
Everyone complains about consistency, and he's so inconsistent, and it frustrates me because there is a good player there. I'll admit that much. There is a good player there, 100%.
Even when he's inconsistent, Ben, even when he's inconsistent, he's still better than fucking Gray, Bergvall, or Sarr.
Yeah, but I mean that.
Yeah, but nothing.
But regardless, I don't want them players at the club either. So it doesn't matter. You're comparing him to children, like 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
We go and get Bentancur, then we've got to get another midfielder there when we've also got to get bloody strikers and that there. He would be a silly one to get rid of.
Who's better, Gallagher or Bentancur?
Depends what you want them to do.
Different roles.
What?
Bentancur is a better footballer than Gallagher.
Right, now elaborate on better footballer.
He's better technically gifted than Gallagher. He's a better technical footballer than Gallagher. But if you want someone to get the ball, run the ball down, chase the ball down, get the ball back for you, going to last the whole game, show a bit of physicality on there, then Gallagher's better. Depends what
Gallagher's just basically a workhorse. He's what Pape Sarr was supposed to be.
But still, you said Bentancur is good at passing. Don't suppose you can bring up his statistics from last season by any chance, can you?
No, but hold on a minute.
I didn't think you'd want to do that.
Well, let me answer you because I'm about to humiliate you now for saying that.
Okay,
right.
go on.
Now I'm going to rip.
Oh, shit. I've asked for it. Sorry, still. Can I one more chance?
When you look at Frank compared to Ange, every single player's passing metrics collapsed. All of them. And that's because of Frank's style. And Ange was all about pass. And then if a few players dropped off, you'd say that's a coaching failure. An individual player failure. When the whole team drops off, that's a managerial failure. The last 7 games under De Zerbi, all the passing metrics went back up with the same players. So what that says to me is the way they were trained to play football massively hindered their passing competency. So all the players passing dropped off last season, all of them, every single one. And they all picked up when De Zerbi joined. Why? Because De Zerbi just had a slightly different way. So I expect this season to see the kind of passing stats that Ange registered in his first season. I expect De Zerbi to match that and then to push on from that because he's got better quality players than Ange now in midfield.
So the general, no, fair enough. Do you know what? Fair point.
And
so
at the back, he's got better technical players at the back as well.
So the general consensus is you're all happy to have him going into the next season, yeah? You're all happy
as a squad player, yeah, definitely as a squad player.
I personally think Bentancur is good enough to start in about 10 of those teams in the Premier League. I think he's good enough to do. I think he is a technically good player. I don't think he's nothing special. If you want to be in a top 6 or you want to get into a top that sort of thing, then no, he's not a player you want as a starter. But I think about 10 of those teams would quite happily accept him.
Their life the problem. Their life the problem. He's good enough to get into the bottom half of the table teams. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that where we want to be?
So as a squad
for them,
but as a squad player, no, he's not good enough to be in a top 6 team.
Benji, hold on a minute. What Scott said, I 100% agree. He's a player we replace in the next year or two. He's not the immediate get him out.
Okay.
He's like, do you know what? He's okay for now. He's okay for now. A bit like what's his name?
What position?
Robertson for a year or two is probably going to be he's all right for now, but he's going to need to be replaced. He's not good enough. He's not that player anymore. But for now, you'd say, all right, for one season, just bite our tongue with him. Let's see what he can do. Robertson's not wow, but he's not shit. He's not shit. Robertson's not crap.
Oh, Robertson is fucking. Did you see him in that Chelsea game still?
Defensively, he is lacking. He's poor now. But going forward, though, he's probably better than any other left-sided player we've got at the club. He's better than Tell going forward in terms of getting crosses in the box. I think he's better than Tell crossing the ball.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. There's no arguing there, 100%. But that's it.
I think Robertson can get out there and cross the ball every bit as good as Porro. Not maybe get up the pitch and hasn't got the stamina he's got and everything and that, yeah. But Porro ain't no better at defending than fucking Robertson. Porro's shit at defending.
Is that water or wine?
I agree. At crossing, Robertson is quality.
The
concern is you can't just have him stand up there. That's my
no. But if you want,
thank God,
if you want to use wing backs to get forward, that's why you have a back three. Robertson's
if we played wing backs, like
no wonder you like Bentancur all of a sudden still.
If we're playing wing backs, I am much less worried about Robertson.
I agree. He's not a left back. He's not a left back in any means or manner. Same as Porro isn't a right back. I think Robertson can cross the ball every bit as good as Porro, if not better. He's definitely more accurate on his passing. And I think Porro's good.
Robertson going forward is useful
in a game overall. And that's only because of Robertson's age. That's only because he's come down a peg or two on his pace and that, yeah. But I think if we was to play wing backs and that, Porro would be a starter for me all day long, especially over a Dogie. I'd start him over Spence if we still had Spence. Because Spence
5 games into the season, Dan E will be having a meltdown about having Robinson at left back. A meltdown. You know why? And this will be his exact words.
Did you actually listen
we've got two fucking pros on the pitch.
Did you listen to what I just said?
No, I did. I get it. He's
what did
fantastic
I say?
at crossing. No, he's fantastic at crossing.
I said as a wing back, I would quite happily play him. He's not a left back.
I don't think he's got the legs anymore to play wing back, if I'm honest with you.
I think he has. No, I don't think he's like double quick like he was, but I still think he's got enough stamina in him and that. No, he's not going to get up the pitch like Porro can, but he can cross the ball better than Porro. He's more accurate with his passing. He hasn't got the same power as Porro or the same pace as Porro. Stamina, I don't think many have got the same stamina as Porro, if I'm going to be honest. He is an engine like that. I'd say about the only other one we've got who's got the same engine as Porro is Gallagher in that aspect. Or you could even put Sarr on there. Not saying Sarr's good, but he has got an engine on him, yeah. I think Robertson is a very useful player to have on there if you want to bring someone in who can at least put a deep ball in there from behind the line or get past the line and put an accurate cross or pass in there. Robertson is good in that aspect.
See, I don't think you can play Robinson if you're playing Porro on the right.
I mean, the other side of it is as well, people's like being said on the side here, Jeff, he's got a fair point. Like, Robertson can't do nothing apart from crossing. What are we all fucking complaining that none of our players can do up front, like Till and that they can't cross the ball? So we need some players who can do it. And Robertson, same as Porro, have got the capable of doing it from the halfway line, not just up the other end of the pitch.
Listen, boys and girls, I'm going to bring it to an end. I only wanted to do a 2-hour show tonight. Obviously, I'm 2 hours ahead of you guys, so it's coming up. It's gone 11 p.m. here in Cyprus. But I've put links in the chat, everyone. Please make sure you get over to Mr. Box Office, who was on earlier on tonight. Check out his channel, subscribe. Obviously, Danny, you all know Dan by now. And also to the Benton Core Hater, the Tottenham Concept. Make sure you go and follow Benji. Benji, when you next on, mate? When you got another show going?
I am going to be doing a live stream of the game on Saturday, and then I think after that I'm on Tottenham Diehards on Sunday, my man. And also, I wanted to say to you before we go, I very much appreciate you coming on the show the other day, my man. You made it absolutely fantastic for me. It was great, so thank you again.
Oh, mate, good show. Loved it. Thanks for having me on.
Much love still. Much love.
Yeah, now he's nice. Now the show's ending. Right, I'll be nice now.
Yeah. Wait till we go off live.
Comes on here. You lot are stupid. What are you talking about? Better. Scott, you're just everywhere and anywhere, aren't you, really? Whenever you want.
Yeah, just going on no channels for me. I will say it's nice to come on here and defend the players and be the positive one while we have negative Benji over there just crapping on all the players. Like, unreal. Benji, come on. Are you a true Spurs fan?
You just got called negative by Scott, for fuck's sake, mate. Game over.
Something's got to be fucking wrong. God damn. We're going in some sort of parallel fucking universe. I'm fucking Benji M. Fucking hell.
Dan, when are you next on, bro?
I'll be on some stage next week. Like I said, I just can't keep up with the amount that other people do, so I just do shows when I feel like it, when they come and go. I will be doing a show or two next week.
All right, check out Dan. By the way, guys, when this stream ends, you're going to all redirect to Talking Tottenham 1882. That's the old Spurs 5. Johnny's on there live now with Lubo and Ashmatic. Please go over there, do a raid, Stelios raid. Let them know that you've all gone over there to show your support. So it's going to redirect you automatically. Just put in the Stelios raid. Much appreciated. Guys, thank you for being here as always. Smash the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for my channel, their channel, everyone's channel. Also to all the super chats and the Jules sent in tonight. Thank you very much, guys. I'll be back this weekend. I'm busy, so I'll probably be back on Monday. The Tottenham Away boys, come check us out. 8:30 p.m. UK time. Until then, have a good one. Look after yourselves, and let's pray to God we get some attackers in before we play Brentford. Otherwise, I fear it. So, all right, out the Spurs. See you later.